Welcome to episode 31 of the Perspective Podcast. You sexy people, you handsome, or beautiful people watching this podcast. Because we only have beautiful people watching this podcast, and beautiful is everyone. So you are that beautiful person. You. Yes, you. Welcome to the Perspective Podcast. In this way, we talk about all perspectives into one: music, lifestyle, fitness, anything that you fancy, because that's what it's all about, perspective. And we have reached 100 subscribers. Bro, we've reached that 100 subscriber mark, and we did it from posting ever since 24th of December. Well, we filmed before that, but 24th of December, we did it. We did it. No matter how difficult days got, we did it, because it has not been easy. Trust me, it has not been easy. It's one thing that I live to do. Like, I love doing this podcast stuff. No matter if it's more difficult on our own, of course, we can't keep doing it on our own because it's only going to get bigger. But right now, I choose to enjoy and be grateful for what we have now, because from something that was just an idea to something that is actually growing and turning more into a community day by day, to just me talking about my music takes, the music that I enjoy, all the things going on in this world in terms of music, lifestyle, fitness, anything that is going on, you guys tap in. So thank you. When I'm up, I'll give all you guys a pound. I'll give all you guys a pound. Today is the 28th of July, and it's not just a normal day, 28th of July. It is the anniversary of Utopia. Utopia released on the 28th of July 2023, and boy oh boy was that an era. That was a weird era of music at that time. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about my whole backstory with Utopia. It is a crazy album. Well, crazy to the least. I think just the era around it was very weird. Firstly, this CD cover just describes how I be feeling, bro. I'm alive, but I'm dead. Like, I'm alive, but I'm dead. Like, literally, I'm alive, but I'm dead. Like, feck. This was really a cover for Utopia. What on earth, bro? Like, whoever decided to do this is ridiculous. But it's a cool cover, but at the same time, damn. Imagine if this was on our phones, like on streaming platforms. You want to listen to an album and you just see this. You're thinking, what on earth is this? What on earth? But anyway, Utopia. It was a weird era, and this was obviously after the whole tragedy and everything that happened. So he had a lot to show off, because if you make that mistake, then you gotta come back with some heat, and especially with the success of the album Astroworld itself. Astroworld is still a top tier album, and it will forever be a top tier album. So from that, we did not know what to expect. You know, we literally had no idea at all. And it's crazy how everything was going on during that period. You know, no one was really like fucking with Travis. And then he was doing all these shows. Like, I remember he was doing all these like festivals, and like just a lot of festivals around the world. I think you had to do that to show that you can do higher capacities than the actual tragedy, and still manage a good show. Because, bro, you could literally see, I remember when he did a show, and you could tell that this guy was not, his confidence was not there, bro. You could feel it. And from that to the way things are now is actually sick. And I remember watching the Utopia show that he did a couple of days after the release of Astroworld, when he did it in Rome, Italy. That was a good show. I wish I was there for that. But yeah, that was actually a really good show to see that. And I remember where I was, exactly when it happened. I was at work, and yeah, I was thinking, damn, if only we were there. But Utopia, first couple songs, I really enjoyed it. I remember listening to this album with my boys as well, and my boys, I love them, but bro, they don't understand it, bro. They don't understand it as much as I do, or they just don't understand it. Like Hyena, like they were enjoying the music for the most part, and I choose not to let people's mood in an album when they listen to music mess up how I feel, but it does have an influence. So I was listening to Hyena, bro. I was enjoying it. Then Thank God, and I was enjoying it either. I was so confused with the way the music was going, and I had no idea of the way things were gonna go. And then after Thank God, it was Modern Jam. And I've always liked Modern Jam ever since the start. I've always liked it because it sounds sick. And I remember, bro, we had the speaker on full blast, listening to it in our room, like just like, bro, that shit was crazy. And then what was after Modern Jam? My Eyes. Yeah, My Eyes. See, I liked it. I've always preferred the first part over the second part, in my opinion, because the second part is really good, especially when he was rapping about everything that's happened. And then the first part was just chill, peak music. Oh my gosh, I gotta put that in a video. But yeah, it was just peak music, bro. Like, it just sounds really good. It sounds really good. You know what? Yeah, we've got the CD right here, but I'm gonna play a few songs after, and then after, but I'm gonna have to get the track list. After My Eyes, it was God's Country, right? God's Country. God's Country, I've always liked it because I remember hearing it when he performed it at the O2 Arena, and that was the first time he performed it, and it was something that I enjoyed from the jump. So I was excited to hear it. And then Sirens, which is like a top tier song, bro. That is my second favorite on the album. Well, third, second, it's top three on the album. It's very different to what he does, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Right, mate. There's just something about Sirens that's just really good. And then after Sirens, yeah, Meltdown. And I've got a lot to say about Meltdown. Meltdown, yeah, when that one dropped, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't really that keen on it. I think they tried to make another Sicko Mode with that one, and you can't replicate a top tier song like Sicko Mode, in my opinion, anyway. And it's still a good song though, but it just isn't on that level. And I don't really listen to it as much anymore now. I can't lie. It is a good song though. And then you get Fiend, which, bro, I remember I got spoiled on who the features were. Well, on who that feature was anyway. I went on YouTube and I saw Carti on Utopia. I'm thinking, bro, this is why you should never go on your phone when a highly anticipated album drops. And the maddest thing is, there was nothing that I could do. I remember when I woke up to go to work as well, and then they put Del Resto as a single, and I just saw and it said Del Resto featuring Beyonce. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, it really ruined my anticipation with the album, because I was expecting to listen to this album like an Astroworld was, when I had no clue on who the features were, but I knew. I remember as well with Meltdown feature, they had the briefcase in the strip club in Houston where Drake was. So obviously with that being there, I just knew that Drake was gonna be on Utopia. So like things like that, I was like, damn, I just did not want to know. I did not want to know. That whole briefcase situation was so horror, was so meaningless. Where is that briefcase now? And I remember the people that bought that briefcase when he put it on his website when Utopia dropped. Where is that briefcase now? Like, where is that briefcase? What did that briefcase even mean? What did it mean? And then after Meltdown and Del Resto and Fiend, I know it was a valid song. From listening to that from the jump, I knew that was gonna be like, I knew that was gonna be a major song, because it's just simple, it's psychedelic, it's different, and it just sounds really good. Utopia Twins, I wasn't really a fan of it. I can't lie to you. I thought it was cool, but nothing crazy. It was good to hear 21 Savage and Rob 49. His part was cool, but I found it a bit annoying. And Paracels was cool again. Like, it was just getting to a point where all the songs were just cool. Like, it wasn't anything crazy to me, but I enjoyed hearing new music, because it's been a while since we got a Travis album. And yeah, Paracel, Levitating, you can't hate on Paracel, but it's just not a song that I'll go back to listen to. It's just one that sounds good in a moment, but it's just like, okay, cool. Utopia just felt like a movie, in terms of you'll watch it or listen to it, but you won't really go to majority of the parts again, other than the highlights, because it's just there. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was just me though. And then after Parasol, I don't even remember. I think it was Schizo. I really enjoyed Schizo, and I was surprised to hear Young Thug on there. So I was really excited to hear that, because that was actually a really good song. All the verses, all the parts, I really like Young Thug's part and Travis's second verse on there. Is it his second verse? Or like, she's a top 10 penniless. I'm the one that, wait, knowing that I'm the human Pinterest. Need true love, but I know true love's like a friendship. Like that part there, fire. I really enjoyed it. And then after Schizo, Lost Forever, which obviously was a snippet that we had for a while. It got leaked. West Side Gun, very valid. Can't hate on that one. Everyone says that the first part, the first version is better, but I prefer this one. But that's just my opinion. Then you have Love. Love is cool. Nothing crazy. I wouldn't really go back to listen to it that much, but it's valid. It's very valid. And then you got K-pop, which I've always been a fan of that song. Everyone hates on it because it's not what they think Utopia should sound like, but what should Utopia sound like then? You know what I mean? Like, tell me, because I feel like Utopia has a lot of sounds into one, and it was sick. I always like K-pop. Bad Bunny's and The Weeknd's part on the album, they really did make a good contribution. But I do feel like they tried to do something with K-pop, and they tried to make it go number one by having Bad Bunny and The Weeknd on one song together. Like, Travis knew what he was doing, and unfortunately it did not work because he released it as a single. So obviously it makes sense having the two biggest artists in the world, like put them on a song together. It will for sure go on number one, and it did not even work. I think it went like number 3 or 2, and then even like Meltdown or Fiends, it did not even go on number one. I feel like with this album, he really tried to make a song go on number one to bring himself back by putting the people that he knew that knows that are going to make a song do well. When really and truly, it didn't even do that much. But the album itself did well. But we'll get into that later. Then you had Telekinesis. I haven't listened to that song in a while. Underrated? No, it's not underrated. It is very rated. And then Till Further Notice, which, man, from the jump, that has been my favorite. It just sounds dark. It sounds melancholy. It sounds like you're down bad. It sounds down bad, bro. It just sounds like real music, and that's what we needed. That's what we needed, bro. That dark, them sins, that production from Metro, it really did remind me of Rodeo, and I loved Till Further Notice. All verses, James Blake, 21, and Travis's verse, all of them, fire. And that little interlude slash bridge that they have when Travis is like just singing, bro, that is fire. But yeah, that was the end of Utopia with Till Further Notice, and I've always loved that song. And then we got the CD with the merch for the album, and we even have the vinyl for Utopia. Shout out to Bunga, because he's the GOAT for sending out that vinyl. But yeah, Utopia, it's a good album, and my rating out of 10, I'd give it a 7. That may be a bit too generous, but I'd give it a 7. You know, I feel like there was some songs that were very flawed, but there were some songs that were really good. And I will say that, what will I say? Fiend, I like it, but looking back now, I wouldn't really go on my way to listen to it all the time because it's nothing crazy in my opinion. But it's a good song. Hyena deserved more love from the jump because of how different it sounds to his music. And yeah, it just sounds really good to hear him just doing different things. And I hope that for the next album that he does, whatever journey he's on, that it's just good music. That you don't have nothing to prove too much. That you're actually lyrical to an extent, getting your bars out. Just do what you love to do without thinking too much, bro. Because I think with some albums, or even with Jack Boys 2, it was a bit much and tried to do too much different that it ended up being horror, when all you can do is just do what you're good at and just focus on it. Even just improve your bars, bro. In production, we know you're good at production. Let's be less cooperative and more musical. You know what I mean? Make it more musical. That would be sick. A musical Travis album. That would be fire. But I would also say, how many units did Utopia sell? I say it was like 490, 493 or something. It was something in them high numbers. And of course, the bundles. These bundles literally help him in terms of album sales, and it's crazy. He's always going to be using bundles now. It's never going to stop. Ever since Astroworld, bro, he's literally been on that wave ever since, and it's crazy. It's mental how things just keep going. But yeah, we'll see how his next one is gonna be, because even Jack Boys did like 217, but that's just Jack Boys. It's not his own album. So we'll see how this next album is gonna be, because damn, damn, it would be good to see him drop an album with no vinyls, or I mean, with no bundles. Vinyls, yeah, that's cool, but with just like letting the music do the talking. Because one thing, there's a difference between Travis and Drake in terms of when they release albums. Drake doesn't do bundles. He doesn't do that stuff. He don't do no bundles. He doesn't even do vinyls like that. He rarely does vinyls. He literally just drops the album and let the streams or let the numbers, let the music do its talking. And he always does well, literally. And the one thing I'll say, if he did bundles for Certified Lover Boy, it would have easily done more than a mil. I mean, if he did vinyls, if he did bundles for all the dogs, or the past albums that he did, it would have touched like a million. But he just chooses not to, and yeah, he doesn't need to, because he already hit a million with views, and that album did bundles. Do you see, like, so if he's already done that, so he doesn't need to do it. So that's the difference between him and Travis. Travis, I feel like he's like, okay, like he kind of has to. He's done it now, that to the point that if he doesn't do it, the next one he may not even be as high as his previous one. Do that there, let hubby Ratchet Kitty. Do that there, where Ratchet Kitty. Do that there. Utopia, that is Utopia, man. Let me know what your favorite songs and your thoughts of Utopia 2 years later. Has it aged well, or has it aged poorly for you? Let me know. Speaking of Travis Scott for a little bit, he's gonna be at Reading at Leeds Festival. We're on a little campaign so that Reading Festival can hear our voice and get us out there to work there or do some press or whatever. And I made a video about that. We are going to manifest, and we are going to be delusional. We are going to manifest, and we are going to be delusional. And what we can do, we're just gonna put our foot down and graft and work to get there, because we have no choice but to get there. There's no way about it, but we're just going to get there anyway. And yeah, we're just gonna have to keep going, because we've been to Reading Festival twice. We've done our festival tour this year, and we did well at Reading Festival and when we was at Drake, and we saw that we can take things further because people are actually seeing our stuff, and we can take it there. So we are going to do that, no matter how difficult, no matter how impossible it may be. We started this in this car, in our house, creating music content, and we're only going to keep growing. You know, bigger than what we can imagine, bigger than what we can see, bigger than what we can even think or comprehend. And listen to anyone, whatever dream, whatever passion you got, don't limit yourself. Think bigger, and not even think bigger, but just think that what you're thinking now is nothing compared to how things are going to be, because it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to keep growing. Always choose to be that student that just wants to get better, because we can't do this without having that intention and just have fun with what you love to do and grow with that. I know this is very, very like different to what I was on about, but yeah, whatever idea you want to do, prosper with that every day, one day at a time. It's always that 1%, because there's 365 days in a year. Who knows, in that next year, or that 1% that you've added from the last year will add up to the next year. We're in it is currently the 37th day of summer right now. And what can you do this summer that is going to benefit you until summer ends? There is 93 days of summer, and we're currently 37 days in. What can you do now that will benefit you? Kendrick Lamar has been doing his show while he's in London. And while he was doing his show, he did 2 shows back to back in London. And everyone was actually gassing it to the point that it was kind of concerning. Well, not concerning, but I saw a comment where it was like, oh, this is what you call a proper show, where Kendrick doesn't have to bring out 52 guests, or doesn't have to rely on 52 guests. And it made me think, damn, are they not forgetting that Kendrick literally did a pop-out show where he brought so many guests, if not more than the amount of guests that Drake brought out during Wireless Festival? This makes me sound like a stan, but it just made me think that, bro, Kendrick stans are very delusional. They're very deluded and very, very like, yeah, stanful. And I hear it. I hear it, but at the same time, at what cost? You know what I mean? Right, just let artists enjoy the performance. because it's a sick performance. Like Kendrick is a sick performer. I'll ever say that, but I will say that the Mr. Morale tour is better, in my opinion. I feel like that show was so, bro. That would literally was on the verge of bringing me tears because of just hearing how good the songs were, especially hearing the full version of Count Me Out. I know he plays Count Me Out during his show, but it's just, man, hearing it during the Mr. Morale, it just felt more intimate and more genuine. I can't say genuine, but it just felt more intimate. I think that's what makes the show more real. Currently, right now, we're using a fan to blow on my camera. It keeps overheating, and I don't know what to do with that. We film in a car. We're not going to change the location. We're just going to film in a car and use the fan. We have the windows open. It is 19 degrees. It is not even hot outside. It's just that Leroy is a very hot car. It absorbs so much heat. So much heat. I want to lay out a proposal pitch to creators to join the Perspective podcast, and I've got a list of the creators that want to be on the pod. And this is this is something that I want to start doing now, bringing people on the podcast, because I feel like, and I believe that this is a good pod. This is a good pod, and people deserve to be on the podcast. And this is my list: 5 foot, broski, join the pod, bro. Let's make a schedule and get the pod going, because this has been months, days, weeks in the making. Ever since this pod started, let's get it going. Let's get it going, because although people know your clothing lifestyle, what you got into with your clothing, people want to hear your music takes, bro. Because I've seen your stories, yeah, and I know you've got good music knowledge, and I want people to know that. So let's get you on a pod. Let's get you on a pod whenever you have your time, yeah, because I'll make my time. Come on, Twinsky. Next, David. The amount of time, bro, David, my guy, let's get the pod going. I'll literally come down to London to get the pod going. If you don't know who David is, he's an athlete, bro. He's sick in terms of his fitness, and he's on top of his game with his fitness anyway. Join the pod, my bro, because I want to hear your music takes. There's one story that you did, and you put Flatbed Freestyle on your story, and I did not know that you was a vamp. I didn't know you was tapped in like that. So, hey, we gotta let the people hear your music takes. And on the topic of David, 365 Joshua, broski, join the pod. I've literally DM'd you. I messaged you on Twitter. Like, I think I do too much to get people on the pod. Like, I think I do too much, and I may not be even doing enough. But yeah, broski, join the pod, because I know you have your vinyl collection, and I see you tapped into music. I know you like Miggy. You're a Miggy stan just as I am. You love Miggy, and hey, I like Miggy, and I see you like your indie music, and I see you like your rap music. I'm tapped into the things that the people that I'm interested in, what they like, and I see that you like what I like, so it just makes sense. Also, Fem, yeah, Mr. NSLB wasn't there. Broski, join the pod, bro. Join the pod. Yes, fitness. Yes, all that lifestyle is sick, but I want to hear what you have to say about your music takes, bro. I think that's what makes life so much beautiful as well, just talking about music. And especially if there's a like-minded environment, even if it's not like-minded, bro, because we get to discuss about music, the people who you think are horror and the people you think are good. You know what I mean? Like, bro, all these people join the pod. Anybody, like, I'm open for anyone to join the pod in the creative industry, because let's get it. And to be delusional, Drake, join the pod. You know, you spotted me at your show. We're guys, we're twins. You know what I mean? I know you're in Europe doing your show now, in Amsterdam or wherever you are. Join the pod, bro. Because I know you're always at the restaurant Ivy or at the restaurant Phoenix. Like, I see, and I don't know what you're doing when you're at your restaurants here. And I see you're bopping to your music. What are you listening to? What is your thought process to songs like Which One, or songs to What Did I Miss? Join a podcast, bro. Join a pod, especially to upcoming content creator. You know what I mean? It just makes more sense, because you will never know you never know how things will be, bro. I want to get some inspiration, as long as you get some inspiration as well from a guy from Birmingham. You never know. And I want George Heaton on the podcast. This may be a big stretch, but George Heaton, if you don't know who George Heaton is, the Represent Mafia, bro. You know what I mean? He's the goat of Represent. He's basically the face of Represent. He's him. You know, we've interacted a couple times on Twitter. You know what I mean? I've been to all your Represent stores in the world. I went to the one in LA, went to the one in Manchester, and went to the one in London on the day of its launch. So if that doesn't say something, then hey, let me get you on the pod, broski. I want anyone on the pod. Like, I'm literally open to have people on the pod. But if not, then I'll literally just get my friends on the podcast, you know? I think having your friends, having your people is more than enough. But I'm open to have anyone on the podcast. This is a sick thing to do. And I don't want to do it on my own because I'm not on my own. Yes, it's solo, but I want people to join the podcast. And I don't want to beg people to join the pod as well. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, in due time, man, we will have the pod going and we will have guests. Who knows? We will have fucking Ed Sheeran. We'll have Justin Bieber, bro. We will have Gunna on the podcast. Like, you never know. So, yeah, in due time, man, we just got to keep the fire going and keep the intention pure. Because regardless, if you don't see this, whoever's watching this, it's all love. In due time, and we'll get the pod going. That's my pitch done. Music drops that I'm liking recently, and firstly, Jimmy Legacy. He dropped this album, mixtape, Black British Music. I like it. I wasn't really tapped into his music. I didn't know what he was capable of, and I really like it, especially 3 Times or Sun, or songs like Dexter's Phone Call. Really good. I'm still listening to Lil Kana's album. It really is one of my favourites. Still listening to Lil Sims, still listening to Sam Fender, still listening to all them albums there. Alfredo 2, we are tapped in. Tame Impala, their single, we are tapped in. Like, we are literally tapped into the music that's dropping, and I still haven't listened to Alfredo 2 properly. I've listened to 2 songs, 1995 and track 2, and I'm hooked. And we are going to tap in fully to see what the music is saying. There's been so many music drops that's happening, and there's still a lot more music that is dropping that sometimes it gets oversaturated, especially when there's a lot of drops in one day. Like, how do people structure their music? Like, where do you listen to your music? Like, during your day, when you're working, when you're on your way to work, when you're just chilling doing nothing, or when you're doing some task. Like, what is your best ideal way to listen to music? Me personally, mine is either going to the gym or literally just in the car listening to, like, in the car, like where I'm sitting right now, I'll listen to the album, or just in my room on the train driving to work or something. But if I'm driving to work, it won't be the full album, it will just be part of the album. Like, when I want to tap into an album, I want to listen to the whole thing in one. Like, I don't like listening to album in separate parts, because unless it's a big album that I'm like, you know, I'll just listen to this later, or unless I'm not even fully invested in the album, then I'll just listen to it later. But I feel like it's best to listen to the album in one, because you get the full vibe in the whole go, and instead of just listening to it bit by bit. But that's just me though. That's just me. Tyler, the Creator, Don't Tap the Glass. This is my review on it. I like it, but after a week, it's just an album to just enjoy, to listen to. It's nothing crazy. My favorite song is either Ring 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 or I'll Look Out for You, or something like that. Or Don't Worry Baby. Those songs right there. Mainly just because of the female vocalist that's on there. She sounds really good, and yeah, she just sounds really good. There was just some songs in there that I wouldn't really go out my way to listen to it, because it just sounds a bit, I don't know, it's not really something that I'll really listen to as much. And I like Sugar on My Tongue, and I like all those other songs. I like how experimental it is, and I like how different it is. It gives me like a Daft Punk, Dawn FM, 80s type of vibe to just enjoy your music, especially from the first song as well, Big Pope, like, or Stop Playing With Me. Like, you can hear the influence of previous music from decades ago, and it sounds good. Like, that's what you need. And especially with Tyler's music, sometimes it can be too modern, but I like how old and how stripped down it is. It's not too conceptual, it's just good music and let it out. But at the same time, it still has some concept to Chromacopia, that like he's still trying to find love, or is he even going to find love? I think that's always going to be something that's in his mind. But regardless, the music sounds good, and I like how he's doing all these shows with the £5 or $5 shows in different cities. It's a good promo run. Also, I will say, but the people that get to be able to go to these little shows are not really like the true fans, bro. I can't lie to you, because it will probably either be cooperative people that get the tickets, or just people that are just not as fully tapped in, that they just got their luck and got the ticket. When real people that tapped in did not even get a ticket, but they just tried. That may just be me, but hey. And that happens with a lot of shows. Like the real diehard fans may not be able to get a ticket to go to their shows, but the people that are like cooperative or people that are just like, just tapped in a little bit, they get it, they manage their way. But it really just shows that the people that are first in line get it last, and the people that are last in line get it first in a lot of situations. But hey, man, it's the way life is. You know what I mean? You gotta go and get it by all means. You gotta go and get it. But yeah, Tyler's album is cool. It's nothing crazy, and I would recommend for you to listen to it. But I will always say, unless you like Tyler's music or unless you're tapped in, I don't think you'll like it as much. That's all I would say. There was a song in there that reminded me of a song on Eagle. I forgot what the name was called as well. Let me go look for it because I'm saying a lot of I don't knows. Gone and Thank You. Yes. There was a song in there that reminds me of Gone, Thank You. But hey, that's enough of Don't Tap the Glass. It's a W album. Would I listen to it again? Yes. But would I listen to it as much? No. Anyway, going into like fitness, bro, I can't lie. I know you see that I like running a lot, and I do like running. I love running. I run like 2 or 3 times a week. I'm gonna have to put a stop to it for a little bit because I feel like my knees, I'm getting an injury at this point, and we had an injury at the start of the year, and we're having another one again in the middle of summer. This is not nice, bro. And sometimes I try to just like brush it off, still do my rehab once a week, but doing rehab once a week is not gonna help when there's 7 days in a week. Should aim to do it twice or 3 times a week even. But damn, it's just that thought process of just getting it done. Like it kills. It's just, yeah, it's that procrastination and it's that discipline, and it really comes down to that self-respect you have for yourself, because I'm trying to think as if you do it, then it will literally enhance your chances of you getting back quicker to be doing your runs. And sometimes I just don't think about it. I just think, oh, I can't be bothered. But it's mainly just because I've done my gym workout in the morning, so it's like I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do another workout, but it has to be done. It really just does go back to doing a 75 hard. And yeah, so from now on, I'm going to take a break off running, rehab, and actually treat my knee. If I'm lying, I'm lying. But I promise, I genuinely want to stop now, because last week I did a 10K run. Like I don't feel no pain, but my knee just feels very tender. It feels very tender. I think I believe that it's a tendinopathy or a lateral knee tendinopathy. And I really need to work on my alignment because there's not really a lot of strength there. I feel like I've lost a lot of strength. But hey, in due time, man. In due time, and we'll get there. We will get better. And that time, without running, we'll just use our time on just grafting our content, bro. At the end of the day, just gotta do what we gotta do. Gotta do what we gotta do. Drake dropped his song, Which One? And I think it's cool. I like it. I will say though that the second part is better than the first part. Central C section was cool. I don't think it's a song that I'll go back to listen to quite frequently unless I'm at the gym, because it was just a song that was just for fun. I don't think it's anything as good as What Did I Miss. What Did I Miss is a banger, bro. It may be a banger that he's like dropped in a while that the streets really needed to hear. And yeah, it's something that you could feel in his energy that he needed to release that. Nothing crazy, but it's something that I'll go back to listen to once in a while. Maybe not even at all, but it was cool. I didn't really watch Iceman. I was just asleep. I don't know how people can stay up to 2 a.m. That makes me sound so bad, but yeah, my sleeping schedule is like, I sleep so early. So early is kind of crazy, but like 11, staying up late is difficult for me. And especially, this is actually kind of bad for someone who does bar work. Yes, I'm a bartender on a weekend, but a content creator 7 days a week. 7 days a week while still doing bartender work. I'm a bartender and I'll be doing that during the week. And bro, obviously if you're bartending, you're doing late shifts till like, you'll be leaving or clocking out at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And I honestly do not know how to survive or stay up. Literally just be fighting on their life, hanging on a thread to even stay awake because it is so tiring. So staying up till 2 a.m. to listen to watch a stream, 45-minute stream is like, I don't know how people do it. And sometimes I take the time to stay up to get work done because it's needed. But majority of the time, I'm that type of guy to wake up early, 6 a.m. and then get the work going so that I can sleep at around 10:30, 11:30 between that time frame. So exceeding that time frame, bro, is like, whoa. It is crazy because we're nearly gonna be on the verge of staying up for 24 hours. If you actually deep it, so yeah, I need help with that. I don't know how people do it because I only drink water. I don't really drink energy drink. I don't really drink coffee. I'm just a water type of guy. Good nutrition and get that going. Yeah, sometimes if it's needed to stay up, it's needed. But damn, I don't know where that came from. But yeah, the Iceman 2 dropped and I did not really watch it, but we were gonna tap in. We are gonna tap into that ski and we're gonna get that going. Thank you for the love on my content recently as well. The way things are going on TikTok is very consistent, more consistent than ever. So I thank you because I never thought that we'd be in this place. What things do you want me to do to be better? Like, what things do you want to see? What content do you want to, what route do you want me to take, and how do you want me to go about my content? Because this is about us. This is not about me at all. What things do you want to see with the Perspective podcast or the Perspective movement? What things do you want to do for you? Like, what things do you want to see so that we can grow with the Perspective legacy? Because regardless, it's just good intention. And one of my neighbors is walking past. You know, sometimes we just gotta fight that fear of when neighbors walk past and just keep going. And I'm gonna keep speaking. Watch. I'm gonna say, "You're right, boss. Watch. We're gonna." That would be, yeah. But hey, man, that's right, boss. I told you, man. But nah, shout out to boss, man. I see him on the walk all the time, and it makes you think, damn, maybe I should go on a walk. And we will go on a walk. But how are we meant to go on a walk when we're injured? Damn, this is literally a never-ending cycle. But I'd rather go on a walk than go on a... No, I'd rather go on a run. Damn, this is not it. Book recommendation to change your perspective. I've been listening to Ashley Walter's book, Always Winning. Damn, this car always goes past. I'd recommend for you to listen to it. His voice may sound a bit too in character or too serious, but it really makes you realize how serious life can be. It's not always a joke. It really isn't always a joke. And it makes you realize how people be going through stuff, bro. Like, it's mental. And especially in the industry, it makes the industry seem a bit like it's not what you think it is, bro. Unless you're grafting from more early morning to late night, which is something that I've got to work on, it will be difficult for you to get to the top or where the top you think it is. What matters the most is your family, your friends, and the people that you're around, and setting out a good intention, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. Loving your people the way that you love yourself, and serving others, and just being that kind person to people, because that's all we can do, especially in this world we live in. Everything is a facade and everything is all over the place. And as long as you give that reflective character of love and just good intention, it will set you far. And yeah, but the book is literally basically saying that, and I'd recommend for you to just listen to it. It's on Spotify or audiobook, wherever you read or listen to your books. I'd say do it. The song of the summer for me till this day is still Olivia Dean's song Nice to Each Other, because it's a banger. I can't lie to you, it's so good. It is really, really good. Like, I was listening to it yesterday when I was doing my rehab, and I was thinking, yeah, this song is it. This song is actually it, but it just does not miss. It doesn't, and it will forever be in my rotation now. When the album drops, it will be in my rotation, and we are gonna be there. It will forever be there because it slaps. And her song Lady Lady, man, she is my lady. On God, she is. When we finish our podcast, we always do a mental health check. I hope you are feeling okay, and I hope that you are being your best version that you can be. No matter how difficult your days get, the suffering that you go through does not compare to the blessings that will occur in the future. Make sure you're tapping into new music, jazz, hip-hop, R&B, pop, dance, whatever takes your fancy, bro, whatever you think will sound good. Go and tap into it, even if it's just a random playlist, because you never know how you will end up enjoying it. You don't want to be closed off in music that you listen to. Yes, you're around the music that you like all the time, but go over your horizon. That's something that I'm working on as well. Listen to different artists, listen to different songs and just different things, because bro, you never know, you end up liking that thing, and it's true. There's no way as I'm doing the outro the camera dies. This has been 4 times the camera has died today. Episode 31. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. We will be back next week, and hopefully the camera doesn't die as much.